Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little bit late today, but welcome to what are we up to? I think we're on episode 6. Yes, episode 6 of ITHive's Facebook Live question and answer session. And because it is such, if you have any questions, please ask them, and I will address those as well as the topic of the day. So, the beginning episodes, just to recap a little bit, 1 through 5, I guess, has talked a lot about what we do as an organization and why we do it, and what we're trying to achieve here in the market and for our customers and for other IT professionals as well. So, but today, I think our Saturday sessions are going to be based a lot on what I'm seeing out there in the market and the experiences that I'm having out there supporting my clients, and what we see collectively here. So this week, a couple of things. Security. I'm seeing a trend out there as far as security goes. The bad guys are getting a little bit clever, so I want to talk about that a little bit. And the other thing is I want to talk about the shared responsibility model, just underline that a little bit more when you're a customer of ITHive.org, what that means and what we're trying to teach to help you have a better quality experience with your technology. So yeah, we'll talk about security first, right? Always an important subject. We should never be complacent about that. But what I want to underline this Saturday morning, at least for me, is that the technology always lends itself to be able to do things in an automated fashion and to be able to wreak a lot of power from that, right? And the bad guys have always used that, right? So they have and will always have, automated programs that run around the internet, looking for devices that are connected to the internet that have weaknesses. And upon finding an opportunity like that, then, other actions or things are taken. But the thing, so that's always going to occur, right? And but I think what is happening out there is that, and clearly, because there's a market, unfortunately, which means to me that a lot of unsecure devices on the internet out there. And until we get that down to zero, it's always going to be a problem. And I don't even know if that's doable. But here's the thing. What I'm seeing now is another level of this where the social engineering, the phishing attack, is becoming much, much more intelligent. And that tells me that there are actual physical bodies spending some intelligent time trying to figure out how they can dupe or outsmart a victim. And the trend I'm seeing here is that method of attack is becoming much more intelligent and easier for normal people to miss, right? And I question sometimes some things as well, right? So here's the thing. I'll talk about. I've seen this in 2 instances. I get, and it's kind of a funny story, but I want to underline a few points. So once in a while, I get an email from my mother-in-law with a link in it and saying that, here's an invoice. I'm sure you'll understand. Well, okay, right off the bat, my mother-in-law would never send me an invoice, so I know it's bogus. But for regular people, right? There could be scenarios where that kind of thing is sent from something that appears to be from a relative of yours, right? And then you open it up or click on the link or whatever, and it's an issue. Now, so largely talk about this. I've seen this in email, right? But will we see it in other places? Probably. So when you get an email, right, and it's suspicious or you're not sure, right? At the top of the email, the one thing that there's two elements to an email address, right? And when you set up your email, and if you can recall, we typically do this once and never do it again. But your email program will always ask you, okay, what name do you want people to see when you send the email? And that's what shows up in their email program, right? And that can literally be anybody, right? You could send out an email and say that your name could be anybody, right? So, and this is what they're doing, right? Now, how do you protect yourself against that? Or how do you see if this is legit or not? Well, if you have one of those emails and it's suspicious, in your email program, when you're looking at the email itself, will be a link there. I'll talk specifically about Outlook, but there's a details link in the address section of the top of the email. And even on your phone, right, you'll see this as well. If you click on that, right, you'll actually see the real email address that email is coming from. And it's very quick to understand that, oh, you know what, this probably wouldn't be, this would be bogus, right? So that's an easy, I guess the general message is to just check things, right? Question things, check things. Just don't believe things verbatim. The other side of the security is that if you do happen to get caught in something like this, having rock solid security on your computer will protect you, right? So that's we've talked about that in other episodes. So that is an important thing. One thing is, I've seen this a few times, but that's a way to check that, right? There's no real way to defend against that because just the nature of the beast, right? How it's set up. You could, So, okay, so that's something to check. I have seen many instances because I run a business, and so for all you business owners out there, something else I've seen is emails that look, and these are a little bit harder, emails that look very legitimate, right? Someone may be presenting you with a proposal or something like that, or a request for something, and it looks good. So what I do in those cases, right, because they're also getting very, very professional, is I'll actually Google search the domain name that they're using or any other information, right? And now, here's the thing. It's easy for me to do these things, right, because this is what I do, right? But for people out there, it might be a little more challenging. But I guess in general, what you need to know is just be a little bit cautious, not necessarily paranoid, but just be a little bit cautious. And I have customers regularly send me emails and say, hey, Chris, is this legit? Is this an issue? Is this something I should worry about? And, I check it for them, right? And say, this looks good, or no, this is a scam. Happens, right? And I'm happy to provide that service, right? Because it's all encompassing in what we want to achieve out there, and that is giving people worry-free technology and where they feel comfortable and not intimidated by their technology, right? but empowered by it. That's what we're after. So I think that's enough. In recap, what I'm seeing out there with security is that the bad guys are deploying a little bit more human intelligence in their attacks, and I don't think that trend is going to subside. I think it'll get worse. So we need to be very, very careful. There's a dark side to where technology could potentially go, because as it improves, it allows the bad guys to be able to be more sophisticated. Now, what can we do, right? Well, just as the bad guys have upped their games to providing human intelligence behind their attacks, on the defense side, right, on the side of protecting our technology, protecting your information, protecting your business, right, I feel so strongly that it's not good enough today just to have antivirus software or just to have firewalls or security appliances. All those automated solutions can be duped, right? And it would be vitally important that and I speak to all levels, from residential to big corporate offices, right? And the trend always, and I'm very disturbed about this, when a company wants to cut funds or cut money or to save money, right? They cut their IT, because if their IT is any good, the owners or the people, decision makers, shouldn't see any problems, right? But if you're seeing a lot of IT problems, you're not investing properly. If you're frustrated, you're not investing properly. It goes hand in hand, right? But we need to have, I guess my point is, we need to, on the defensive side, we need to have more IT professionals involved, making sure that the solutions that we have in place are doing what they should do, and questioning them, looking for problems. Right? I do this for my customers all the time. I'm looking for problems, right? And because, the other philosophy we believe in, not just for on the security front, but if you deal with a problem when it happens, when it occurs, within hours or days or, a short time, right? It's easy to fix, right? Problems that have lingered for 3-6 months and then take out networks or servers or stuff like that, those things are nightmares, and they're expensive, and in some cases could be the end of your business, right? So it could be a little self-serving that I sit here and say, invest in human techs to manage your technology, but it's a truth. All right, so enough with that security. Let's hope that I'm not totally correct, but that's what I'm seeing. I wouldn't be surprised, right? We need to be careful, and I think protecting is going to become more and more important. So, spent a lot of time on that. I don't want to make these videos too long. So, the other thing I'm just going to talk about from a customer perspective of ITHive.org, one of the things when you become a customer of our organization, the one thing that we will get you to see and play an active role in is being a partner in the protection of your technology. And what I mean by that is that when it comes to responsibility of how things are working and how efficiently things are working and how costly things are, we rely on the customer to play a role in that, right? We are here as a service. We educate and we inform and we advise, but at the end of the day, we leave it to the customer to action. Why do we do that? Well, it's important no matter who you are using technology. Of course, it becomes more important if there's more at stake. And for everyone, that's different. But we will make it visible, the things that you need to do. We don't shelter you from it, and we don't hide you and pretend that you wouldn't understand the issues. No, we educate you on what's important and what's not working right, and then we let you take the correct actions, right? We don't take complete control of things and then leave you in the dark and you don't know what's going on, right? We want you to know what's going on. We want you to have all the passwords and the access to everything that we have, because we feel strongly about that. This is a partnership, right? And it only really works when the client is involved. And so there's two scenarios, and I have varying degrees of clients, so I have some that I'll point things out to, and we wait a few weeks or so for things to happen, but I remind them, right, and tell them and stuff, and if I think that there's serious issues that need to be addressed, I will call them, right? But then I have others that and I see, I point out something's wrong or whatever, and they book that appointment right away, and we get it solved in real time and stuff, and things go away. And so there's two scenarios, right? What I see out there is that those people that act on the advice that we're giving them, their cost to support actually trends down. The people that don't act on things or don't action things right away, or not really a true 50-50 partner, their costs tend to be a little higher. And we work on trying to get people to that place where there is that true 50-50 partnership, but we do that on a very educational manner, leading the horse to water, but after that the horse got a drink. So I think that that kind of sums up how we manage our clients, and we think this is very important. People need to be more informed and more understanding of what goes on with technology and how it works and why you're investing X number of dollars a month or what to make sure things are working, right? If you're part of the process, you'll understand why, right? Because we'll tell you, right? And then hopefully we can move forward with a solution that everyone's happy with. So anyway, I think that's about where I'm going to wrap this up. And we will see everyone next Saturday. And in the month of November, well, it's getting there. And so anyway, so all done. I'll sign out. And we'll talk to everyone a week from now, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye. And a good week.